Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here, New Life Pentecostal Church, Albany, Georgia. Here we are with the water buffalo outer skin of a Church Bible Publishing Turquoise Bible. When I say it's their turquoise, it's their, years ago, Cambridge, I'm talking about like in the 20s, came out the Turquoise Reference Bible. It's phenomenal. It's considered to be one of their best text Bibles. And so it's in kind of free domain now. So Church Bible Publishers takes a lot of those classic Thompson Chain, Schofield, Cambridge, Oxford text and brings them into something for ministry. And this is absolutely incredible. Now I'm going to tell you, this leather reminds me of Thomas Nelson back in the 80s primarily, had a genuine leather open Bible that had this particular grain to it. And I know a lot of the grains are stamped on there. There's very few natural grains. This is water buffalo, by the way. But it was like the best grain I've ever felt on a leather. It was phenomenal. I don't know what Thomas Nelson, if they still do those. They came out with an annotated study Bible as well, which was the old Liberty Reference Bible, which became the King James Study Bible, and now the King James Study Bible 2 that's out there. And it had a different, thicker type leather with a different engraving pattern. It was unbelievable too. Now, unlike most Church Bible Publishers Bibles, this one is not flexible. So the water buffalo is going to be more like a top grain cowhide. Like you can't roll it like you can the calf skin and the iron calf skin, but it's still considered tough. It comes with 3 ribbon markers in gold, and it does not look like it is art gilt edging. It is gold edging, but not art gilt. It doesn't have the red underneath. It has 3 ribbon markers that align with it. Now, I got this cheap. I got this off their sale thing. You know, I've done videos on like how to buy cheap Bibles and stuff, or get cheaper Bibles. And I don't know if you can see it, but this had, according to local church, the pages extended out, and they had to cut them right there. So that really doesn't matter to me at all. So you get $20 off or something like that just for that. And I don't mind that at all, again. And so local church comes up, they have several blank pages in the front, and then a very good like family record section. TBS, Trinitarian Bible Society, does a lot of that as well, like the family record section. Has the raised spine hubs in it. This one is in what's known as chocolate brown, I think they call it. Let's see. And so this is item 140RLP1MC. It even gives you the phone number. And then it says imperfect, no return on there. So this is kind of when the Lord gives us some funds. This is how we accumulate Bibles, like from local church and church Bible and different ones. And a lot of times after we do some reviews and we'll do some comparison reviews, we'll end up giving these away to people. Some of the leaders in our church, and you know, give them good Bible and that type thing. So it not only has the epistle dedicatory, it has the translators to the reader, which I recommend everybody to read. Now, the translators to the reader is kind of tough reading because they were such learned classicists. This would be Miles Smith writing that pretty much. They make a lot of references to classical literature that, like, I have to look up. You know, I've read the translator, the reader, probably 6 times-ish in my life, either side of that, and I still have to look it up like every time. But now you can see why. Let's get to the title page here. And you can see that it's a self-pronouncing edition. I was doing some research on the self-pronouncing edition, by the way. Like, I started looking at the King James 1611. I've got some facsimiles of that, and I'm like, well, it wasn't self-pronouncing. I don't think it was, that at least that I can find. So when did that come to pass? And I found a Bible on eBay. I didn't buy it. I just found the Bible. They were advertising it. And it said in 1897 that they were saying this is a self-pronouncing Bible to help you with pronunciation and this type thing. But you can see in the text why people love it, because it's large print center column reference. It's a large print center column reference. Now again, maybe the best large print center column reference ever in history is the 60s and 70s and into the 80s Thomas Nelson center column reference, large print, because it was thin and it had amazing print, great large print. And I know a lot of folks that liked long primers that really got into those. And some of the there's a ton of different long primer text out there. I'm gonna unfurl these ribbon markers that I've been discovering. Like there's some really small long primers and thin lines, not the new Allen thin lines, but older long primers that are incredible. They're phenomenal text, and it'd be really good to reproduce those as well. So here's the ribbon markers. You can kind of see how far they hang down. Kind of look like they're all the same length. Some ribbon markers, you know, some Bible publishers print ribbon markers that are different lengths, various things, and some of them do multicolor. Now, one thing I noticed was the red letter was a little inconsistent, but I think that's due to the age of the typesetting of the Turquoise. I don't think it's anything to do with the printing, because I've got a couple of Cambridge Turquoises done by Cambridge Press, and they kind of wrestle with the same issues as that also. And so they say over the course of time, the reason you need to get these old 1920s, you know, the Cameo and the large print from Cambridge and this is because over the course of time, the printing deteriorates, the typeset deteriorates. And so it's just something that happens. And they say they're computerizing it, but I don't know if they're able to catch everything. I know, like my last Cambridge large print I got, which is my go-to Bible, just text only, black letter, no maps, no nothing, just text, is a lot of broken letters. I'm finding several things in there. So it has the classic Cambridge concordance, as you can see. Cambridge concordance, you can kind of always tell because it's not listed. It's kind of all jumbled up. And I've kind of gone back and forth on whether I like it for years, maybe decades. I didn't like it. Then I got where I liked it. And but I do like just the cleanness of the regular concordances. We'll do some measuring on this, but it is an excellent concordance. It's very long. And then it has pages for notes, a lot of pages for notes in the back. That's not lined like an Allen Bible, nothing like that, but it is just really good. And so after you get that, you get to the map section. And a lot of people don't use the little gazetteer. I have some in times past. Let me just show you the map section, 15 maps. And we'll start right here. And so the little gazetteer helps you find particular things. I'll show you that on the next page here. Actually, I think I skipped 2 pages, but it's still in the gazetteer. So that way you can look in the maps, it'll tell you what map number, and then it's kind of got like a grid system that you can find various things. So I don't think I've ever just really pointed that out in the many hundreds of Bible reviews we've done here. So like Timnah is in a couple of different places. So like map 12, H3, so let's just look up map 12, H3, and there you have Timnah. or down here somewhere in this general area where my fingers are at the bottom, is Timnah. And so it's at H3. So again, that's just kind of how you use it. But great maps. Tremendous maps. So this is the water buffalo leather. Water buffalo leather. I keep wanting to say calfskin, but it's not. Water buffalo leather turquoise. And so it's about 10 inches high. 10 inches high. Now the thing is, like if you buy a Moroccan leather from Cambridge, which I have not, I've got years ago, like probably in the 80s, I bought a calfskin, which I've done a review on that. And then I've got a split calf of the newer one. But I mean, like, I think they're in the 200 plus range. They may retail for like 300. So you can get this, like I got this one kind of messed up for substantially less than that, obviously. I mean, they're 125 from Church Bible Publishing. You always have to watch what they're shipping though. And then I got the reduced one because it's messed up. I wanted to show you too, it has a little stain on the back cover, which I didn't notice. That being said, that's why this was reduced, but it probably had something to do with it, but it could be just in the naturalness of it. So it's about 10 inches high and about 7 inches wide, just a hair under both those figures, and about 1.85 inches in width, which it's just a good carrying Bible. It's about in my upper limits of what I would carry with a Bible. It's large print, really good print. Let's see if we can compare it with the Cambridge large print. It's very readable, and you know, largeness is not just about the size of the print's darkness, it's how the letters are spaced. 2K Denmark, a lot of different companies are coming out with just amazing readability. But one thing I like about the Turquoise is it just doesn't seem as busy to me, even as my Cambridge large print. Cambridge large print is probably equally large, a little darker, and maybe even just a tad larger, but it's a little busier. They did a great job spacing out the Turquoise, this Church Bible Publishing. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you're just looking for a classic Cambridge text, I don't know if it's a PCE, and please don't put in the comments, can I check if it's PCE? I'm so far behind in my whole life, and I just don't have time to go through and check every scripture to see if it's PCE. Maybe you could do that. Maybe you could call Church Bible Publishing, something such as that, and see. But yeah, I could carry that to church, and it's a little big. I could preach out of that. I could teach out of that. I was joking with a friend of mine, Pastor Seabrooks out of Bainbridge, Georgia, and he has a Allen 63 goat skin. I said, brother, that thing will just preach itself. You don't even need to do anything. It'll just preach. Just open it and it just preaches. And this is close to being like that. But again, the water buffalo, it has a little thing on the back too where it says it's AA leather, kind of like they do wood right down here at the bottom. You know how they'll say this is AA maple or something like that. Some of the gun stock manufacturers and all that, people that are into the wood of their guns. And, you know, that's me. I grew up farming community and all that. I'm used to guns, but I'm not used to semi-automatics and all of this. You know, I'm not against them per se, but, you know, I just like a single shot or a double shot with some nice figure in the wood that it doesn't cost very much, like $100 or $200, you know, so it can get dinged up. And if you're just out shooting tin cans or something. So anyhow, this is a great Bible. What can I say? The local church water buffalo just fantastic. I'm glad, Cambridge came out with water buffalo back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And, animals die. And so you might as well use their skin for something profitable. So God bless. It does have colored headbands as well. I did want to bring that up in brown and gold. So God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.